welcome to Wise Women Podcasting. My name is Fiona Waddell. I am a healing intuitive and money flow coach, and I'm here with the wonderful Shannon Gorton.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shannon Gorton. I am an intuitive mindset energy mentor.
Awesome. So welcome to Wise Women Podcasting. Just to let you know what our basic mission statement is for this podcast / channel is we are here to help soulful women who are ready to make change. Simple. So it doesn't matter where you are on that spectrum, as long as you are ready to make change and connect, that is awesome. So today, our focus in this recording is 5 ways to slow down your mind. So this is a great podcast for anyone who is experiencing any form of anxiety, trouble sleeping, brain fog, or at that famous crossroads in a decision. So we have sat down, put our heads together, and mapped out 5 ways to approach this concept of slowing down your mind so you can better make decisions, sleep, and create. So our first one is breath work. We hear this a lot. So Shannon's going to give us a spin on her form of breath work.
So for me, breath work is important in stepping into the mindfulness of being present where I am on my journey. Each day, I am mindful of my breathing work. I implement essential oils, particularly doTERRA myself, and I like to tune into paying attention to my body, my breathing, my energy, my mindset, and just going in and checking out like how I'm doing first thing when I get up in the morning. I just kind of run through the systems check in the breathwork zone. It creates a space for me to navigate my day in a more positive vibe, if you will. When I start out my day with that breath work, I use balance. It's doTERRA oil and adaptive. And the balance, it's piney and it just really centers me and grounds me into where I am. So I can tune in and focus on my breathing more. And then that's when I do my systems check. And then the adaptive is really nice to use aromatically or within a diffuser as well. I like to be able to use that for focus, focusing my mind, stop the chatter. So using them in tandem together, just step into breathing and sorting out where I am energetically for the day. And it helps me to move forward with the next steps. How about you, Fiona?
Well, for me, typically with my breath work, I don't work with the oils. Typically, I do have them in the diffusers, but I also work on paced breathing. So I just start off most mornings doing what I call the 4-4-4. So I breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and release on a 4 count. And I find that just that conscious breathing, that counting, because when we wake up in the morning, we start planning our day. And if we have a not so good day, or we've got a lot of negative energy, potentially that we're walking into, or an overwhelming day, we tend to get overwhelmed with that and take our first steps with that. So I try to etch a sketch that and just breathe in for 4, out for 4. And I do this for 2 or 3 minutes just to get my breathing grounded. And I find that whenever I tend to get a little wound up, which I do a lot, triple sag here, that happens. A 4 count breathing in and out typically brings me back into my body, grounds me, and it's like I can count to 4 and do that in, hold, and out. And that's just, it's a no-brainer way to slow. When I need to slow down, I go back to that breathing. And
I like that a lot.
well. So yes, breath work.
I like that tempo of the
4, 4.
breath work. I really like that a lot. That's a great resource to have in your tool chest for one way to slow down your mind. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, what are we headed to next?
We are heading into another way to slow down your mind. I'm going to speak about getting out in nature for um, tapping into the energy of the elements. I like to go outside a lot. I love being out in nature. And the first thing I do as soon as I open the door and step through the threshold out onto the landing is I breathe in and like the air, right? What's the air doing? And then I listen, are the trees moving from the wind blowing? Are the birds singing? So, if I'm at a different location, can I hear water, whether it's a river or the ocean? So I can tune in to the elements and see what I'm sensing, and then I just relax and let that kind of wash over me and like tune in energetically to the elemental energy that's around me.
Hmm. I like that. Getting outside for you is almost like it's kind of like all of your senses, because you might have been so wound up with something, all of your senses are just surrounded. Your scent, your feeling, your sound, everything is just automatically grounded when you're outside, and you
Yeah.
start focusing on that instead of what was holding you back earlier.
It's taking it back to the basics,
Yeah.
right? The elements.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
I'd actually say mine is similar in that I do believe in the use of frequencies, the hertz. I'm all about vibration. So being outside is awesome. I prefer barefoot if I can, because the goal is to get down to 432 hertz, or the grounding energy. Like if you can do some earthing, walking around barefoot, that's great.
Yeah.
But also, if you can't, like for me, I'm in Canada. It's it snows, it gets mucky, you can't get outside a lot. So I sometimes pop on YouTube myself and I listen to, or I have in the background, 432 hertz, which is usually the grounding, and 528, which is typically known as DNA clearing. Or you can actually listen to the Schumann resonance, which is just like a murr, murr, which is kind of like the pulse of the earth, which helps you. Yeah, I find that just having that on in the background, just instead of listening to chaotic music or like high vibe music, it just calms me and brings me back into my body again, which is our
Fascinating.
goal, to slow down. So yes, I
That's
use
really
frequency.
fascinating, Fiona.
Yeah.
Like I knew about the hertz, but I've heard of the Sherman or Schumann resonance.
Schumann. Schumann.
Schumann
You're
resonance.
close. Sherman. I'm sure there's a Sherman out there going, yeah.
Goodness.
Oh goodness. I like that.
Um, but I wasn't aware of the 528 that you spoke of.
Oh yeah. It's there's
Oh
tons, like
goodness.
if you go on YouTube and, like for example, 963 is like moving up your chakra. So like if you want to do crown work or connect, blend with spirit, you head up into the hundreds, like 963. And we know that 888 is a popular number in the East, so for abundance. So you will see a lot of hertz and abundance manifesting at 888. But for this focus of 5 ways to slow down your mind,
Mm-hmm.
432 or
Mm-hmm.
528, I'm a big fan of. So yes.
Thank you,
So
Sherman.
that per Sherman, no Schumann. So getting outside. So now we're going to move on to writing. So writing is huge for me, but I'm a little different. I mean, you'll find out about Shannon, but I will jump in this one. I don't like writing in full sentences unless I have to. So I do what's called brain dumping, where
I love it.
I literally set a clock for like a minute, 2 minutes, and I just write down everything. Like just get it out of my head onto paper. It doesn't mean I have to do anything with it. I just have put it out of my head onto a piece of paper and I just write. And once that clock stops, I'll take a look at it. And if I want to address it, I'll address it. If I don't, I don't. I walk away for a little bit from it, but it's no longer in here. I put it out and I know I can deal with it now. And even if it's a mind map and I've doodled all over the place, it's out of my head. So I find that that helps. I don't have time for sentences, grammar, punctuation. So that's why brain dumps are awesome for me. So that's what I do is for writing. It's all about mind mapping and brain dumping.
That's fabulous, Fiona. I really like how you've done that because you can do that anywhere.
Yeah,
Not while you're driving, of course.
yeah, don't do that.
That just
No.
goes without saying. But yeah, if you're cooking, you can get a little post-it note or scratch piece of paper. If you just need to like clear your mind, slow yourself down, that's an excellent way to do that is with the mind dumping.
And for you, what
And
do
for
you do?
me, excuse me, I like to journal. I like to do creative writing, so that's why I usually go to my journal because I can just kind of like step into that space and release, what I need to release mentally, um, the things that I'm feeling. So there's, I can tune into talking about how my creative writing helps my mind to slow down. Um, there's a lot of stuff externally going on, for many people in different areas. And I find that journaling is kind of comforting to go within myself, as like a check-in, if you will, about how I'm doing, a little pep talk from myself, if that's needed at the time, or wow, I came across this today, a beautiful hummingbird was out by the echinacea, and I can't believe that's already like 4 feet tall. I mean, I noticed the echinacea is like really tall this year. Um, I also use writing letters. And they don't have to be, novels or, a newspaper length, or it can be as long or as short and simple as you'd like. But writing letters helps to slow mind down because I'm stepping into that space to create with my words, with my writing, whether I'm talking about how I feel, what I saw. Um, I like to be able to do that, to like tune into the energy of the elements with my systems, with my chakras, and like really embody that writing piece, either in my journal or writing letters.
I see. I really like that. It's like for me, I'm like, but I find you are very much a scribe. And so I
Yes.
find that you calm down the longer you can spend writing and expressing yourself.
Yeah. It's been a
So
practice,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, journaling is it's something I haven't I occasionally have. I have found the benefit of journaling a couple of years ago when I was going through something. Um, and right now I'm in the shift of doing this brain dumping. But yes, I do. I enjoy journaling, and I find I like how you put it down. It doesn't have to be a newspaper. It doesn't have to be a novelle. It doesn't have to be anything like that. It just needs to be your clear. It's the time you get to flow and clearly express your thoughts. I like that.
Thank
Nice.
you.
And where are we headed to next?
Movement.
Oh, yes. Movement.
So, movements. One of my favorite ways to slow my mind down through the energy of movement is yoga, specifically
Mm.
meditative yoga, which has really come from the starting point to more of an intermediate place for me. Again, I love my time in nature, and this is a great blend when the weather's nice to go outside and throw down a sheet if I want to, and toss my journal down, put my water down, and I've got everything I need right there, and do some really nice, gentle yoga in a meditative form is just like, again, landing where I am outside, connecting. It's like almost as, uh, I don't know how you'd say, it just works for me because I've done it without thinking how I do it. I automatically center myself, ground and center myself, get all my systems checked in. I start my yoga, gentle stretching, and then honoring myself and my movements as I'm doing the poses and the stretches. And, the birds will start becoming more present. Like I could go out and there's nothing going on. The birds have like flown for the day. They've moved on to another yard or another neighborhood or whatever they do. Within 5-10 minutes of me being outside, gradually they start coming in, and it's like, okay, then I notice that's the element of air. And as I'm doing my movement, I realize, wow, this is the fire realm. This is my movement and my action and my, you know, anyway, so I go through the process and I tune into my heart space and I figure out, what my emotional energy is for the day. And then I work into the air realm, like noticing the trees are swaying and I'm swaying and doing the yoga pose. And to me, that's like the meditative yoga that really slows my mind down to where I can just not worry about anything else. I don't have any checklists, to-do lists. I remove time from the equation when I go into this space.
Nice. I like that. I
Thank
like
you.
that. It's because people think like yoga is this workout where we have to get better at it. We have to be really good at it, but it's not. It's actually it's part of a belief system. It's
Mm.
part of a personal growth. It actually has nothing to do with physical feats. It's you know.
Although there are some that are very impressively
Oh yeah.
flexible.
Yeah, some people are really bendy, Gumby and pokey, but that's not the focus of yoga. So I like how you've said that. That there's no
Thanks.
expectation to actually be good at yoga. It's about you, not the like range of motion or anything. So yeah, it's your journey. Thank you. And when it comes to me for movement, I actually talk to clients about reading how to move. So sometimes like if you said you were talking about fire and air and such, I've had people come in when I'm doing Reiki healing and they're vibrating, and I put them on the table and they start to breathe and we do the clearing, we set things up, and they're not slowing down. And I have asked people to leave and go play basketball or go do, this is what I was working at a center, uh, um, to go do some kind of vigorous activity, then come back to me and I'll do distance Reiki. And them moving and getting that fire out gave them more clarity than trying to lie still for an hour. And it's reading the energy. So I'm a really, really big believer of getting people to check in and say, do you need to be still? Like do yoga. And if they're like, no, then I'm like, go walk, go run, go move, go jump, go play, and shake it off. Like that song has so many meanings. Go shake it off, and release that vibration. So when it comes to slowing down your mind, actually slowing down your body may be the worst thing you could do. So read your body, go walk, go jump around, go clean, go put on a little bit of a glistening sweat. Don't hurt yourself or anything silly, but you might need to release that fire energy, um, and then come back and do some yoga. But either way, you're holding in a lot of energy. So listen to your body. That's my big thing when it comes to movement, because movement is so powerful, so powerful. Um, yeah. So my thing is taking a quick lesson and walk if you need to. Give yourself permission to go do what your body needs it to do.
Amen. Well said, Fiona. You're absolutely right. Because what may work for me and at this time where I am on my journey may not be the same thing that I'll come up when I check in an hour. I may be like, oh, wow, I need to walk it off, right? I need to
Exactly.
shift some things, move some things. And what better way to light your fire than to walk?
Exactly. So that's movement.
Beautiful.
Um, Next, and our final one is talking about cleansing.
Mm.
So we've been kind of hinting at this in the previous four because the previous four is all about release. So now we're going to talk about ways we cleanse and make an intended focus, like cleansing with intention. So I'll start off with this one, and I use a lot of times Epsom salt baths. This is my big thing. Epsom salt. It's kind of like the Himalayan salt lamps and such, um, where they clear your body of that low vibration that is in your actual cells and DNA. So doing foot soaks or even an Epsom salt scrub will release um, anything that's low vibration or essentially toxic in your body. So I'm a big believer in taking time with yourself. Like if you've got children that come home that are strong empaths and like are vibrating when they come home, I usually tell mothers of empaths to get your kids to sit down, or parents of empaths to get your kids to sit down. Um, they might need a quick shower or quiet time in a corner just to doodle, dance, or do whatever they need to do for 20 minutes to a half an hour, and then engage with them. And so Epsom salt hand scrubs are really good for kids and even for empaths who are parents or adults. Even myself, I do that sometimes where I just scrub my arms down when I come when I come back from Walmart, for example, because there's just a lot of different vibrations. Um, so that's what I do for cleansing with intention, and that helps me at least step back into my body. And I sometimes even couple that with breath work as well. And my Epsom salts also have essential oils in them too. I always throw in some peppermint or lavender in there, um, just for the breath work as well. So that's cleansing with intention for me. Is Epsom salt is a big one, or just showering and washing it off is a big thing. So how about you? What do you do
Yeah, thanks for
for
sharing,
cleansing?
Fiona. I love the energy of water for
Mm,
cleansing, and I love the Epsom salts. Um, Again, that's just like a very, like it goes back to the ancients of
mm,
cleansing with the salts. Um, and it does so much, because you're using the balance of the water and the earth, the salt, so you're like, and to cleanse that way is like really invigorating. I like to program my water, and I love to play with the energy of programming water. It's one of my things. I love energy. So um, on the full moons, I will always get a crystal bowl and a crystal pitcher, and I fill them with fresh, clear water. And I'll set them out as I also set out my crystals and my jewelry, my gemstone jewelry, for the vibration of the full moon to cleanse. And I um, will write down what I want to infuse that water with for the full moon energy. Sometimes, sorry, sometimes I will want to amplify a certain area, more abundance or unexpected abundance, or more laughter, more freedom. So, and I'll write down whatever, some intention, and I'll put it, or a word, it can be as simple as a word, and put it on a piece of paper, and I'll put it under or next to the bowl or whatever vessel I'm using to hold the water as it's charging. And then once I've done that, I can use the water in many ways. I can wash my hands in the water. I can anoint my chakra space points. I can blend it in a bath water. I can put it to cooking for my food and enhance, something as easy as rinsing off a celery stalk, or rinsing my lettuce, because I know that that's going to automatically absorb that energy. Even if it's being rinsed, I can wash my face. Um, and just mindfully setting the intention of programming the water during the moon cycles is really, I've done this, gosh, since like 1993. That's something that just I've started doing on the moon cycles. And I don't even, have to think about it. It's something I do.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's awesome because people don't understand, or people are starting to understand the power of the moon and our relationship with the moon and women and our cycles and the moon and the connection, the
Oh my
vibration.
gosh, yes.
So it's why wouldn't we use the moon and moon water to help us slow down and heal and move forward? It's like people, it's the vibration and the connect. Now you know me in vibration, all about vibrational medicine and vibrational healing.
Yeah.
That's the energy of the universe, right? So it's our connection to the moon and to the earth and the connection to the earth. Why wouldn't that be a great way to cleanse? So I really like that, and it's actually not that hard because depend no matter where you are on this planet, you can get a glass and put it on your windowsill wherever you're at, and just leave it and charge it.
Yeah. And you can cover
So
it if you want to cover it. I have a cooking bowl, a mixing bowl. It's for pancake batter, but I fill that up because it's a pretty bowl with a nice big handle. It's a thick glass bowl, but it has a lid that I can put on it to keep the bugs out because I
mm,
love putting my water outside. You can do it inside as well, but you want to make sure that you don't have any
yeah, you don't
floaties
get
in
any
there.
visitors.
We have a lot
No
of pollen where we
approaching.
are, so
Yeah.
I don't want to ingest that as well. But I've really enjoyed this daily self-care practice and 5 ways to slow down. We've taken an elemental journey in this process today, and it's been really fun. We visited air and earth and fire and water and earth, air, fire, water. And then with our writing, I really feel that that's something that we've done internally, whether it's brain
Spirit.
dumping or
Yeah.
journaling or writing letters, however, it's really like blending them all together, to cohesively cleanse and clear and slow down.
So yeah, I when I look at this list, and the way we've approached it, we are similar but different in our ways, which just goes to prove there's no right or wrong way to work on yourself. So just to help, because we're gonna have to close this off. Because you've been listening to this for a wee bit now. So you've got our 5 ways to slow down. You've got Shannon's beautiful way and my beautiful way to do it. But the key is this will help you just pick and choose what works for you. And this will help you sleep better, create more, and make decisions with more confidence and clarity. And that is our intention. So, if you're interested in learning more about what Shannon and I do, please look at the bottom in the description because both of our links are there. We both have our own separate practices, but we bring this together. This is our little co creation and love to spread with you. So, please check that because we do have offers in our own spaces. And yeah, please hit like and subscribe and comment if you have any ideas or constructive criticism or support, and spread the word that we are here to help soulful women who are here to make change. So lots of love to everyone. Thank you
Thanks,
very much.
everybody.
Yes. Take care. Cheers.